Our text is entitled this evening, Most Desire Lightweights, Even in Heavier Times. I'll say that again. Most desire lightweights, even in heavier times. Isn't it interesting that despite how frequently these verses have been quoted and recited in sermons and conversations down through the ages, most believers, in my purview, from my experience, only want the converse or the opposite of the gist or the meaning of verses 14 and 15. Isn't that interesting? When we look at 14 and 15, once again, KJV, it says, "How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher?" How are they going to hear without a preacher? How are they going to hear without someone who has been elected to bring the gospel, the good news, to share the truth, to embody it, as it were? 15, "And how shall they preach unless they be sent? Lord, have mercy. How can they bring us good tidings, peace and joy, good news, truth, prophetic insight and utterings and even warnings? How can they do it unless they've been sent in the first place?" We've been talking about this in subsequent weeks. How it is that in this day and time, everybody claims to be sent, but you can hardly find the fruits of the gospel or the fruits of the Most High. So how does that work? People in large part don't want to hear truthful preaching. Now, y'all might be on some type of parallel universe where that's not the truth. Or you can just say that's your opinion. And I'm not saying I'm the only one preaching the truth. I'm just saying I don't know that there's a lot of truth in a lot of the stuff that we're consuming. It might sound good. It may be what we want to hear. It may be what we seek after. It may be stirring. It may be motivational. But is it truthful preaching according to the word of the Most High? And words left on record for our learning. Now, in my opinion, and I come from a succession of ministers, third generation, at least. And I've been in this thing my whole life. And in a large part, there ain't a whole lot of people flocking around to hear what is true, and oftentimes what they need to hear, as opposed to what they want to hear. But I digress. They don't adhere to sound doctrine. Who really wants to be lectured, after all, about what the word really says and truthfully means all of the time? Every week, upon every week? What if you live 100 years? And what if you are a believer and you're part of a body fellowship and you attend services and listen to preachers for the vast majority of those 100 years that you can understand? Say you start understanding the preacher at 4 or 5 years old. Say for like 96 years, you're listening to preaching. You want to hear what you need to hear for 96 years in a row? Who's going to be honest out there? Who actually wants to face what biblical prophecies truthfully foretell even? If it's foretold that nation is going to rise against nation, family going to turn on one another, who want to hear that? Can we be honest today? Oh man, I love the truth. Yeah, I love, find you a Bible-believing church. Are we being